Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. On August 4th Eastern Standard Time, we have a new moon in Leo at 12 degrees and it's receiving positive, beautiful aspects from Mars and Jupiter in Gemini. This new moon is also creating positive aspects with the nodes of fate, and the ruler of the north node, Mars, is again supporting this new moon very heavily. So I feel like this new moon could be very fated in nature, could be very important and quite positive. It's receiving beautiful positive aspects from Mars and Jupiter, which gives us the drive, determination and optimism to expand, to have some kind of initiation, some type of new beginning in the areas of our lives that are ruled by Leo. Now, I do want to mention that on the next day, we have Mercury moving retrograde in the sign of Virgo, which is giving us the possibility and the opportunity to revise certain things in the houses that are ruled by Virgo. But as Mercury continues to move retrograde, it's going to go into the house of Leo, where this new beginning is in. So there's definitely beginning and initiation when it comes to the area of your life that's ruled by Leo, but there are certain things that also need to be revised, recalculated, revisited. People could come back into our lives, projects, certain details that we thought were the right direction, maybe they come back and we need to revise certain details and realize that we need to take on a different approach and different direction with these things. On this very same day, Mars is creating a tense aspect to Mercury in Virgo. And again, Mercury after that is going to move retrograde. So there's some tension here. There's some need to address something when it comes to our thinking abilities, communicating with others. There could be some determination, even some intense communication with other people, or an action that needs to be taken to be able to review certain things and have this healthy new beginning that we want to achieve with this new moon. Generally speaking, I feel like this new moon is more on the positive side. Again, it's creating positive aspects to Mars and Jupiter and the nodes of fate. So I think that's very important. Mercury is moving retrograde, so there's revision that needs to be made. People that need to come back to close certain things, that take a new different approach with them and your different direction with them, but it is definitely necessary at this time and place, because the notes of fate are involved here and they're creating positive aspects to this new moon. So I don't want to talk anymore in the intro here, but keep in mind as always that I'm a Western astrologer and I follow tropical zodiac, and that you still have to consult your personal chart, as this is just a general reading, and the results will always depend on your personal chart. But without further ado, let's start with the 12 zodiac signs. Hello dear Aries, Aries suns, moons and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. This new moon, Aries, is happening on August 4th at 12 degrees in your 5th house. On the next day though, Mercury is turning retrograde. So I feel like for a lot of you Aries, you may have some type of new beginning associated with an old romantic partner, with somebody that you used to go on dates with, you used to talk to, you used to have feelings for. Somebody can somehow return with this new moon to have some type of new beginning or closure with you. And I say closure, although this is a new moon, because these new beginnings can talk about having to review something, having to clarify something, having to talk through about things with this person, to have a new beginning with that, but associated with something that may have happened in the past. If you have children, then this new beginning can mark something with your child. You may have some type of communication with them, some type of new beginning with them. What I do love about this new moon is that it's in a positive aspect to Mars and Jupiter, which are both sitting in your 3rd house. So I feel like there is definitely communication happening here. The fifth house, where the new moon is happening, is also the house of gambling, of earning money by quick schemes, in a quick way, by luck, by fortune. So this can definitely be the case for some of you Aries. Of course, you have to consult your own personal chart. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just a general reading for all the zodiac signs. The fifth house is also the house of creativity. So a lot of you may have this push with Mars sextiling this and inspiration to expand. Okay, Jupiter is also created an aspect to this new moon in your creativity, in your artistic abilities. A lot of you may be going back to some type of hobby that you may have had in the past, some type of creative ability, to have some type of start with this old thing that you used to do before. That you maybe take a different approach with this new moon. Mars rules you, and it also rules your 8th house. So for a lot of you Aries, you may be using or you may be talking about about finances with a partner related to shared resources that you want to use associated with this creative endeavor that you want to take on, or this hobby that you want to take on. You may be the initiator of these things. You may be very inspired to do so. Again, this new moon, it is in a good aspect to your rising sign, so I feel like it can be very positive. Mars, your ruler, is also creating positive aspects to the nodes, and the North Node is right now sitting on your 1st house. It is transforming the way how you are. It's creating fated events in your life. It's making you more independent and less reliant on your partnerships. And the ruler of this North Node is Mars, so it's you. So I feel like this is a very important time for you, Aries, to have some type of new beginning in all of your 5th house matters. You again may try to go after these old hobbies, or reconcile with a child, have some type of communication with an old romantic partner. I think it's just a beautiful time for this new moon. I do want to mention that tense aspect we have between Mars in Gemini in your 3rd house and Mercury in Virgo in your 6th house. Again, Mercury on the next day it goes retrograde, so for some of you, you may need to review some type of health issues that you may have had in the past, or think about it, or have some type of communication related to it. Maybe talk to a doctor, maybe go back to old medications, review what you used to take, what you need to take now, things like that. There's some kind of review associated with your health, even reviewing your diet, thinking about it, communicating with it, realizing that maybe there was a mistake in the past and that you have to fix something. This 10 square also can talk about maybe some kind of irritation that could happen with a colleague at work associated with something that might have happened in the past, like a situation in the past. Mars can bring some type of agitation, in the 3rd house of communication, of thinking. And then Mercury in the 6th house talks about communicating with your colleagues, the people that you talk to on a daily basis. So be aware of that. Situations may arise that are of this kind of nature, but it is kind of important for you to do so, to be able to review something from the past. And Mercury here in Virgo is in its own sign. Mercury rules your 6th house, it rules your 3rd house. So again, communication with colleagues may be a little tense over there. For others of you Aries, there can be some type of communication that comes about your daily routines. You may feel some disruption there, some tension going on things that you need to go back to, review from the past, and kind of take maybe a different approach when it comes to them. So these are all the scenarios that could happen on this day. We also have good aspects between Pluto and Neptune and Uranus. We have a little triangle going on between them, and I think that's just wonderful. But this new moon definitely is more on the positive side, and I really hope that you go back to things that you really enjoyed doing in the past, with this new moon happening in like such a positive house, which is the 5th house, and creating a positive aspect to your ruler Mars. This is what I have for you Aries. Let me know please in the comments how things are going for you. I love reading your comments. I want to know what is happening in your lives, and if you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello, dear Taurus, Taurus suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. On August 4th, Tauruses, we have this new moon in the sign of Leo at 12 degrees in your 4th house, which talks about new beginnings associated with your real estate, with your home, the place that you reside in, your house, your apartment. It talks about new beginnings with your parents, with your family members, but also your place of origin, ancestry. For some of you, you may learn something new associated with people in your life, in your family dynamics. But also this new moon can mark a new beginning in your emotional world, in the way how you see the world and how you view it and how you just feel about your life. On the very next day, Mercury is moving retrograde. So I feel like this new moon is going to have some type of a beginning in your home environment, in your life, but also there's some type of review that needs to be made when it comes to your day-to-day life, when your daily routines, in your job, in your health, in your physical body also. The new moon is creating positive aspects to Mars and Jupiter, which are sitting in your 2nd house. So for a lot of you Tauruses, you may have this new beginning in your home environment because of a job, because of a promotion that you may have, that you may receive. This can talk about moving to a new place because now you finally have the financial means to do so. However, Mercury is going to move retrograde into this area of your life. It's starting first in the sign of Virgo, and then it's moving back into Leo in your 4th house. So yes, there could be some type of new beginning, but will also be some type of reviews and recalculation of all these new plans that you want to be doing. So for a lot of you Tauruses, you may have to review the place that you'll be residing in, where you want to live, who you want to live with, things like that. But also there can be changes, there can be new beginnings when it comes to your emotional world. For a lot of you, you may need to review how you feel about yourself, about your life, about your parents, your family, things like that, and have some kind of new beginning and new approach associated with it. As I mentioned, Mars and Jupiter are creating positive aspects from your 2nd house this new moon. So this talks about feeling confident, feeling driven, excited to expand and to have these new beginnings in your 4th house matters. Mars rules your 7th and 12th houses. So this talks about, coming into agreement with a partner, in these new beginnings associated with your life, and also having that guidance from God, from the universe, just feeling good about this new beginning with that 12th house connection. Jupiter rules your 8th and 11th houses. So for a lot of you, this new beginning that you want to have in this area of your life in your 4th house matters can be aligned or realigned with your long-term dreams and goals for the future, since Jupiter rules your 11th house. This can also talk about, again, talking to a partner when it comes to your finances, shared resources that you have to be able to support this new beginning in your life. It's also worth mentioning, however, that Venus, your ruler, is going to square Uranus, which is sitting in your 1st house. So there is some kind of tension over there for a lot of your Tauruses, to where you want to have this new beginning in your 4th house matters, but maybe you'll need to redesign or rechange something about your identity, the way how other people view you and the way how they see you. This new moon is happening at an angular house. So for a lot of you Tauruses, you may have to have some type of new beginning and revisiting old goals that you have, again in your 4th house matters, but also in your career and public reputation in your 10th house, also in your identity, who you are as a person in your 1st house, and also partnership contracts that you may have. On this same day, Mars, which is the ruler of the North Node right now, is creating a positive aspect to the North Node and the South Node, which are sitting in your 12th and your 6th houses. Mars is sitting in the 2nd again, so again, they're is some kind of a focus here on your second house matters, on your income. You may feel very driven to take a certain approach when it comes to increasing your income, and you may really be able to do so behind the scenes. There could be somebody helping you, and I really like this positive aspect because the North Node is sitting in the 12th house, and sometimes the 12th house is the house of karma that we have received from past life deeds. So I feel like this positive aspect to Mars, a lot of you Tauruses are getting rewarded from your past life work and help that you've given to other people. It's kind of coming back to you in a positive way with this transit. I do want to mention that Mars is also creating a tense aspect to Mercury in Virgo, which is sitting in your 5th house. So a lot of you Tauruses are wanting to make money, probably because from a hobby, from a creative ability that you have, but there's some kind of tension being created there to where you want to, maybe make money out of it, but there's something that you need to review first with Mercury moving retrograde in this area. There could be some certain details you have to review about your hobbies and creative abilities to be able to make money out of it. And also, if you have children, maybe you have to go back to a certain topic to talk to them about it. It can be topics associated with finances, with personal worth, self-worth, with talents that you or your children may have. Also, Tauruses, and I will talk about this probably on a different video for the Mercury retrograde transit, you may have some type of communication with a past lover that comes into your life during this time. But there's some tension that could be created that associated with your self-worth and maybe how this person may have treated you in the past, or some type of closure, that could be happening with an old romantic partner, if that applies to you, if you feel that into your life, if you've had some kind of situation into your life associated with romance. But definitely positive new beginnings. I feel like for with this new moon, it's creating some positive, beautiful aspects. We do have those squares happening, so there is still some tension happening there. But if you have new beginnings in your 4th house matters, I feel like they're going to be more on the positive side. This is what I have for you Tauruses for this transit. If you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello, dear Geminis, Gemini suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction. Geminis, on August 4th, we have a new moon in your 3rd house at 12 degrees, creating a beautiful positive sextile to Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 1st house. I absolutely love this new moon for you, Geminis. The 3rd house talks about some kind of news you may receive during this time, or it talks about a new beginning, a new approach in the way how you think about yourself, in the way how you think about the world in general. You may be more optimistic, you may feel more driven, you may be more excited about life, and just a go-getter with this new moon. The 3rd house is also the house of sales, marketing, writing, communication related industries. So for a lot of you Geminis, if you are in any of these industries, there can be some kind of new beginning associated with it. If you have your small business, then again, this new moon talks about a positive new beginning where you feel determined to express yourself and your identity, who you are as a person, freely into the world. You may come across as very optimistic, very expansive, knowledgeable, wise. People will love to hear you. On the next day, though, of this new moon, we have Mercury moving retrograde in the sign of Virgo, which is your 4th house. So there could be some some new beginnings when it comes to matters related to your family dynamics that need to be revised. So yes, there are new communication coming through, but there's also something to be revised in your home dynamics, in your real estate, where you live, your city, your country, related to your home, related to your property. For a lot of you Geminis, you may be reviewing the place that you're living in, and if you want to be there or not. You may even be doing some type of reconstruction, fixing stuff around the house. You may also have some kind of communication with family members during this time, cousins, parents, just extended family also. And for others of you Geminis, you may have the possibility to spend time, in your home country if you happen to live far away from your home. Mercury is your ruler here, so you can be the initiator of all these reviews and revises that could happen. Or you may just be thinking about them. Mercury is the planet of thoughts. Anyway, so the thing that I want to mention here, though, is that this Mercury retrograde at some point is going to go to your third house where this new moon is happening. So I feel like for a lot of you Geminis, this new moon, this new beginning, this new news you may receive or give during this new moon can definitely, or most possibly, be associated with relocation, with your home, your home environment, your real estate, your family members also. So there's definitely some connection that Mercury is going to reactivate this new moon. On this same day, Mars in Gemini in your first house is in positive aspects to the nodes in Aries and Libra in your 5th and 11th houses. And the ruler of the North Node is Mars. So I think this is a very beautiful, positive aspect. There is definitely something karmic and fated associated with this new moon. To have such positive aspect in the sky, and to have this beautiful connection between Mars and the new moon. The new moon is, of course, making that connection to the North Node also. So, we have that small triangle happening here. So definitely some new beginnings about fated events, fated things that we are supposed to, experience during this time. But it could very much be associated with your long-term dreams and goals for the future, with the North Node being in this area of your life. There could be some type of reactivation, some type of reviewing of certain aspects and things in your life, in your 4th and 3rd house matters with this new moon that you have to go back to, but that realigns you with your long-term dreams and goals. And for some of you Geminis, the 11th house is also the house of friends, so there could be also communication with friends, with your acquaintances, posting your social media, things like that. On this same day, though, Mars in Gemini in your first house is in a 10 square with Mercury in Virgo. And, Mercury is your ruler, so there could be some tension here going on with a family member. Yes, there are new beginnings, things to be revised, but there could also be some tension being formed here. So keep that in mind. You feel agitated, you can have maybe some type of intense communication with somebody, but it's definitely important to do so with Mercury helping you and all of us revise certain things to actually be realigned with where we need to be in this area of our lives. I definitely think this new moon is more on the positive side. I generally like it. However, there's a few things, intention being here. And we also have a square happening between Uranus in your 12th house and Venus in your 3rd house. So again, there could be some intensity when it comes to the way how you communicate, related maybe to finances, to a partner. That can be a bit surprising also. There could be a need for rebellion associated with these things. But keep in mind that this new beginning, again, is more on the positive side, and we are more likely to resolve things. I feel like this new moon is the calm before the storm. As I talked into my previous video, we have a square between Jupiter and Saturn, and then a square between Jupiter Mars conjunction and Saturn. So the second part of this month of August may be more in the intense side, so just enjoy this new moon, okay? It's not as bad. But let me know in the comments how things are going for you Geminis. If you liked and resonated with this video, please remember as always to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello, dear Cancers, Cancer suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. Cancers, on August 4th, we have a new moon in the sign of Leo at 12 degrees in your second house. And it's creating a beautiful sextile to Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 12th house. I really, really like this new moon. This talks about new beginnings in the way how you think about money. Probably in your finances also, you may receive a promotion, or for some of you, you may have to revise something associated with your budget, with your money, to where you have to fix something and have some kind of new beginning associated again with your finances. The second house is also the house of your self-worth, self-confidence. So for a lot of you Cancers, you may take on a new approach in the way how you feel about yourself, how you take care of yourself, and also in your talents. The second house is the house of possession. So sometimes talents are things that we possess. So for a lot of you, you may take on some new beginning associated with things that you know really good how to do. I absolutely love the sextile that this new moon has to Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 12th house. This may talk about a drive for a lot of you Cancers, that you have to do things behind the scenes, to expand behind the scenes on some type of project that brings more money into your pocket, into your finances, or you could be retreating from the world and working on your self-confidence, working on feeling good in your physical body, in the way how you love yourself and how you take care of yourself. The 12th house is also the house of spirituality. So for a lot of you Cancers, with this new moon, you may connect to the source, you may connect to God, to the universe, to resolve something that is associated with your finances and with your personal income, and also with your self-worth. It's worth mentioning that the day after, we have Mercury moving retrograde in the sign of Virgo, which is in your third house. So you may have some kind of communication coming through, things that you need to review in your life. You may have to go back into certain information, certain details, certain emails, texts, messages that are associated with this new beginning. And as Mercury moves back into Leo in retrograde, then you might really have to revise something associated with your money, with your personal resources, with your income, and also with your self-worth. But as I said, I love the sextile to Mars and Jupiter. I feel like this new moon is more on the positive side. Mars rules your 5th and your 10th house. So for a lot of you Cancers, you may use your creative and artistic abilities to increase your income. You can even make money out of your hobbies, out of your creative projects with this new moon. It could be the beginning and start of it. Again, with the Mercury going retrograde, you might need to look at some details in a few days associated with this new beginning, but it can be, again, more on the positive side. And this can also be associated with your career, again, with Mars ruling your 10th house, your career and your public reputation, and how you want to be known into the world. Jupiter, which is also making the sextile to this new moon, rules your 6th and 9th house. So for a lot of you Cancers, this new beginning can talk about using your belief systems, your knowledge that you have to increase your personal income and to make more money. You have the drive to do so. You have the determination to do, the inspiration to do so with this new moon. On this same day, Mars in Gemini in your 12th house is also making positive aspects to the nodes, and the new moon is also making positive aspects to the north node and the south node. So Mars is the ruler of the north node, and I absolutely love it. It talks about fated new beginnings, as if you are meant to be making this amount of money in this certain time. at this time. You're supposed to be feeling about yourself in this certain way at this time. So you have the drive, the determination, the passion that Mars gives you with this beautiful positive aspects it's also making to the nodes. So definitely very fated, but also very important for you. On this day, though, we have some tense aspects going between Mars in Gemini in your 12th house and Mercury in Virgo in your 3rd house. So again, there is some type of communication issue going on here. There's a need to go back to old emails, to old details, to have some kind of, going back to review certain things back in time when it comes to communications. And as Mercury is going to move retrograde into the sign of Leo in the 2nd house where the new moon is, it means that there are some things that need to be reviewed associated with this new beginning. It's like taking on a new beginning in your 2nd house matters, but having to review something first. If there was some type of blockage in your 2nd house matters, when it comes to your income, then Mercury retrograde is giving you those insights, those ideas where you want to go back, where you need to go back to be able to fix those things and have this new beginning in your 2nd house matters. So there's some tense square here. There's a communication, maybe a bit heated with people behind the scenes, with individuals that are not in the public eye, that you kind of don't tell people that you have communication with. Or it could be that there's some type of communication, some type of blockage coming from a person behind the scenes that you don't know about, some kind of hidden enemy, things like that. Again, Mars rules your 5th and 10th houses, so these communications can also be associated with some type of hobby. It could also be your child if you have children. It could also be with a romantic partner. But I feel like it's more on the financial side of things for most of you. With Mars being the ruler of the 5th house, of the 10th house, of your career also. But I feel like, again, this new moon is more on the positive side, just making beautiful aspects. I like this new moon because I feel like the second part of August is going to be more in the intensive side. We have the squares between Jupiter and Saturn, Mars and Saturn. So there could be some more tension in the second part of the month. But enjoy this new moon. I feel like it's good. Mercury is also going to meet with Venus at some point. So, it could be pleasant. It could be good. But again, don't forget about the tensions going on. Because they're always there. Our lives are not always perfect in every aspect. There's always something going on. But let me know in the comments, Cancers, how things are going for you. And as always, if you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello, dear Leos, Leo suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction. The new moon, Leos, is happening in your 1st house on August 4th at 12 degrees. So if you have any points, any angles, any planets between 9 degrees and 15 degrees, then you're definitely going to feel this the most. However, all of us are going to have some type of new beginning in all areas of our lives that are ruled by Leo. But you are the stars of this, Leo, and I absolutely love this for you because this new moon talks about new beginnings associated with your identity, who you are as a person, your physical body, what you wear, how you come out into the world, the tattoos that you have in your body, taking care, of what other people see in you. This is also a new identity, a new beginning associated with how you want to be known into the world and how you come across to other people. What I love about this new moon is that beautiful sextile it's creating with Mars and Jupiter, which are both sitting in Gemini in your 11th house. I absolutely love this. This talks about an important drive and push that a lot of you Leos have to expand in some type of long-term dream and goal that you have for the future. But this new beginning is marking some type of new identity that you are wanting to create within yourself, so that you can expand in this area of your life, so that you can expand in something that you've been wanting to achieve in a long run. For others of you Leos, this talks about support and expansion in your friendships, in your group of people, in your acquaintances, social media, the masses. A lot of you are getting support from these individuals, these other people, in some type of new beginning that you want to achieve in your identity. Mars rules your 4th and 9th house, so it could also be that there's a family member that's supporting you in some type of long-term dream and goal that you have for the future, and this new moon is creating some type of new identity for you, a new beginning for you, so that you can go towards this expansion when it comes to long-term dreams and goals. And for others of you Leos, it could be that a family member is supporting you to enter some type of group of friends circle, to have some new acquaintances, meet new people, grow your network. And there's a family member in your household that is really supporting you emotionally, with words, and being there for you when it comes to these things. As I mentioned, Mars also rules your 9th house, so it could be that for a lot of you Leos, you're using your knowledge, you're using your belief system, everything that you're an expert on, to be able to achieve this long-term dream and goal that you have for the future, and or this to enter this circle of friends that you want to. But again, there is a new beginning happening here in your identity and who you are as a person, to be able to achieve these things. I do want to mention here, though, that Mercury on the next day is turning retrograde in the sign of Virgo, and for you that's the 2nd house. So for a lot of you Leos, there is some revision that needs to be made when it comes to your self-worth and how you identify as a person. Yes, there is a new beginning with this new moon in your identity, but there's also some type of revision that needs to be made when it comes to your past, when it comes to the way how you have talked to yourself, how you've treated yourself, how much self-worth you have for yourself. The 2nd house, where Mercury is starting this retrograde, is also the house of personal finances. So for a lot of you Leos, you may need to review your finances, your budgeting, how much money you have associated with your, maybe the way how you look, the clothes that you buy, the way how you present to the world when it comes to your image. As Mercury moves retrograde, it's going to go back to your 1st house, to the sign of Leo, after it leaves Virgo. So again, there's some revision here with this new identity that you want to take on. There's a new beginning, but with having to review certain things, going back to certain things in your life, to certain details, communications, things like that associated with your identity and who you are as a person. On the day of the new moon, Mars, as I said, is creating this beautiful aspect to the new moon, but we also have beautiful aspects, positive aspects created with the nodes, with the North Node and the South Node. And the ruler of the North Node is Mars. Mars is is communicating with the North Node in a positive way. So I think this new beginning is fated, is important, is karmic. It has to happen in a certain way, and it's probably very positive. There's a positive outcome that comes from this. And the nodes for you are sitting in your 3rd and 9th houses. So again, there's some type of belief system that's going to put in place here, and some type of communication that needs to happen. There's some kind of drive, there's some kind of initiation when it comes to communication with other people, but also in the way how you talk to yourself and in your thinking process, especially associated again with some type of long-term dream and goal that you have for yourself, and some type of reinvention that you want to make to your identity. On this same day, Leos, we have a tense aspect between Mars and Gemini in your 11th house and Mercury in Virgo in your 2nd house. As I mentioned, Mercury is going to station retrograde, it's going to go retrograde. And so there is communication here between the financial houses, some kind of tension. Maybe you want to use your personal resources, finances. You need to review them. As I mentioned earlier, you need to go back to budgeting and thinking how much money you have, and seeing if you can go forward and push forward with Mars being in your 11th house, in your long-term dreams and goals for the future, but also in your circle and whatever you have with acquaintances and friends. And Mercury here is in its own house. It rules your 2nd and 11th houses. So again, there's an activation in the financial side of things that need to be reviewed. However, I do love this new beginning for you, Leos. It's creating positive aspects. Again, there's some tension being there, but as I always say to you, squares are there for us to make an action. So there's some action that needs to be taken again with this new moon. But let me know in the comments how things are going for you. And if you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello, dear Virgos, Virgo suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. Virgos, on August 4th, we have a new moon in Leo at 12 degrees in your 12th house. It's creating a beautiful sextile to Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 10th house. This new moon, Virgos, talks about a new initiation, new approach when it comes to your spirituality, when it comes to your connection to God, to the universe, to a higher force, new beginnings associated with meditation, yoga, all the spiritual practices. For others of you, if you are in the medical industry or dealing with less fortunate, or dealing with people that have some kind of sickness, in the service industry also, then there is some new beginning associated with your job, with your work, with your industry with this new moon. If you're not in any of those, then this talks about some kind of opportunity to travel abroad, to go on a vacation, to retreat from the world. And this beautiful aspect that's being received by Mars and Jupiter in the 10th house talks about some authority figure that could be supporting you when it comes to these things. Or again, if you are in the industries that I mentioned, in medical, in service to other people, then there can be some kind of expansion and drive with this new beginning that you're doing behind the scenes that kind of benefits you to expand in your career and public reputation and how other people see you. Mars rules your 3rd and 8th house. So for a lot of you Virgos, this talks about a lot of communication, again, behind the scenes that you could be doing for your projects, for your work, for your personal life, for dealings that you basically do private from the world. Or it can talk about support that you're receiving from a partner, from a family member, through shared resources and finances to have some kind of initiation in your 12th house matters. And again, there could be some kind of benefit here associated with your career, your public reputation. Mars and Jupiter here want you to expand. They're giving you the drive to expand, in this area of your life. And then this new beginning could talk about doing all these things behind the scenes for most of you. Now, I do want to mention that Mercury is going retrograde in Virgo in your 1st house. So for a lot of you, you may need to go back to some important things associated with your identity to kind of reflect in the way how you come across into the world, reflect in your in the way how you look, in the way how you come across to other people, in what you wear, your makeup, your tattoos, your physical body, or just your identity. And you're doing so that you can achieve something in these 12 house matters. As Mercury is going to travel backwards, it's going to enter Leo in your 12th house. So it's going to this area of your life where you're having this new beginning in. So there is some type of initiation, some type of new beginning, but there's also revision of old things, as if you need to review and correct some things so that this new beginning can take a new direction, can take the right direction for you when it comes to all the topics that I just mentioned. Another lovely aspect that I love about this new moon is the positive aspects it's creating with the nodes. And the nodes are sitting in your second and eighth houses, so you have a lot of focus in your personal income, in your finances, and the ruler of the nodes, of the north node, is Mars, and Mars is also communicating in a positive way with the nodes. So I absolutely love this. I feel like there is something, some benefit that it comes when it comes to your finances, your personal income, but also your shared resources, that you are receiving some kind of support when it comes to your career and public reputation. Because again, Mars, the ruler of the north node, that is sitting in your second house, is now in your house of career and public reputation in Gemini, in the 10th house. So this new beginning talks about support from authority figures, from your finances, shared resources that you might have with a family member, but also a partner, because Jupiter in your 10th house, that's transiting the 10th house right now, is also the ruler of your 7th house and the 4th. So you're definitely receiving support from other people and these new initiations that you want to make, again, hidden behind the scenes, but that could benefit you in your career, public reputation, and how the other people see you and know you. A tense aspect that's happening during this new moon is a Mars in Gemini in your 10th house with Mercury in Virgo in your first house. So Virgos, I feel like this is a very important time for you, because you have activation of your angular houses, so you can definitely feel some tension in all areas of your life. But with this specific square between these two planets, there can be some communication with an authority figure at your job, at your career. There's some tension happening there between your identity and who you want to come across as, in your authenticity, in your originality, and what the world wants you to, what the world is seeing you as, what the world is expecting from you. So there is some tension going on here during this new moon, and Mercury rules you and it rules your 10th house. So definitely activation in your identity, your career, and public reputation with this 10th square. There's something that needs to be resolved here, but you can definitely do it. And Mercury is going to help you as it goes retrograde in your first house. It's going to help you resolve these things, go back to details and understand them. And as it goes back to Leo, it's going to reactivate this new beginning for you. So I absolutely love it. I think it's this new moon is more on the positive side, so take advantage of it, and I hope things come out the way you want them to. Please let me know in the comments, Virgos, how things are going for you, and if you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you can do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello dear Libras, Libra suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. Libras, on August 4th, we have a new moon in the sign of Leo at 12 degrees in your 11th house, and it's creating a beautiful positive sextile to Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 9th house. I think this is a very positive new beginning for you, Libras. You are definitely having some kind of start, some type of change when it comes to your dreams and hopes for the future, what you want to be achieving in the long run. But also you may have some type of new beginning with a friend, especially with an old friend that may come back into your life in the next few days when we have Mercury retrograding this area of your life. So there could be definitely some type of new beginning with a friend, with a group of friends, social media posting, the masses, with your networks, people that know you. And if you are in the industry of technology, then you can definitely have some type of new beginning associated with your career and your industry. Now, what I love about this new moon is that it's receiving this beautiful sextile from Mars and Jupiter in your 9th house, which talks about a drive, a need, a passion to expand in your belief system, in your knowledge, in your research work, in your understanding of the world, and your knowledge in general, in anything that you are interested in. So for a lot of you Libras, you are using the knowledge that you have to have this kind of new beginning in a long-term dreams and goals for the future. There could be some type of expansion here, something new that you learn that gives you an aha moment when it comes to achieving something, you know, in the long run. There could also be some kind of belief system, some knowledge that you receive that helps you initiate some kind of communication or some kind of partnership, friendship with a friend or a group of friends. The ninth house where you're receiving this support from is also the house of legal matters. So for a lot of you Libras, there could be some kind of new beginning associated with your long-term dreams and goals for the future, but also your friendships, to where you receive some kind of legal support, some kind of legal completion, you know, in a positive way that supports you in achieving all of your 11th house matters. The ninth house is also the house of foreign travel. So for some of you Libras, you can really have an opportunity to travel abroad, to go to some place that you've been wanting to go to for some time now. I do want to mention though that Mercury is turning retrograde in the sign of Virgo, which is your 12th house. So if you want to initiate something, you know, associated with long distance travel, then make sure to check all of your documentation, because Mercury is moving retrograde in the 12th house of foreign lands. And because I will talk here in a minute about it, you have also this square between Mars and Mercury, and Mars is sitting in the 9th house, which deals with legal matters associated with foreign travels. So, you know, be careful with that. Make sure you check your visas, your tickets, things like that. But there, as I mentioned, Mercury is going retrograde in your 12th house, and then it's going to touch this new moon point as it moves retrograde into the sign of Leo. I think this is a very important for a lot of you Libras, because you have some type of revision here to make with Mercury retrograde. Yes, you have some type of a beginning associated with your friendship circles, networks, people that you know, but there's also a need to revise something, to go back to some kind of situation, to clarify things. And for some of you, it can be with a friend, it can be, you know, with your social media posting, it can be with your long-term dreams and goals for the future. Mars rules your 2nd and your 7th house, and with this new moon, it means that you may be receiving support from a partner. Maybe this partner is teaching you something that lights a bulb associated with your friendship circles and your long-term dreams and goals for the future. It could also be that you may have the financial means at this time to have this kind of new beginning for your life, for yourself. Jupiter, that is also, you know, in the 9th house, rules your 3rd and 6th house. So there can be some communication here going on associated with this new moon. You may receive some kind of news related to your legal matters, related to your foreign travel documentation, to your belief system also, that supports you in this new beginning that you can have in your 11th house of friendships, acquaintances, long-term dreams and goals for the future. On the same day, we have the new moon creating, as I said, a positive aspect to Mars and Gemini in your 9th house, but also a positive aspect to the nodes in Aries and Libra in your 1st and 7th houses. And I absolutely love this. The North Node is ruled by Mars, and Mars is creating a positive aspect to this new moon. This is very important, and this talks about support that you're receiving again from a partner. You may be running into people in one-on-one connections with others that are quite fated, that with people that support you in this new beginning in your life. I think this is wonderful. It's fated, it's karmic, it's on the positive side. There could be somebody that really supports you, or it could be somebody that or it could be some kind of contract that you may be receiving, or that is supporting you in this long-term dream and goal that you have for the future for yourself. On this same day, though, as I mentioned earlier, Mars is also creating a tense aspect to Mercury, which is going retrograde on the next day, okay, on August 5th. And Mercury is sitting in your 12th house. So Although there may be this wonderful beginning in your 11th house matters, there could be something hidden from you, from the public eye, that kind of creates some kind of tension that needs to be resolved. There can be some tension created by things that are hidden from you, or it could be that there could be issues with, again, foreign travels, documentation to go somewhere abroad. It could also be legal matters that you're kind of doing behind the scenes. There's some tension that wants your attention to be able to resolve something and to go back to important details associated with ninth house matters. I still think that this new moon is more on the positive side. Of course, there is some tension happening there also on the same day, but there's definitely potential for some beautiful new beginning after we have resolved some important details. And it could be that this new beginning talks about just a different recalibration when it comes to a certain direction in our lives. And for you Libras, it could be associated with your long-term dreams and goals for the future, again, your friendships, social media posting, the masses, technology, your networks, acquaintances, people that know you. So you can have some important beginnings in these areas of your life. But this is what I have for you Libras. Please let me know in the comments how things are going for you, and if you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello dear Scorpio, Scorpio suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. Scorpios, on August 4th, we have a new moon in Leo at 12 degrees in your 10th house. And what I really like about this new moon is that it's forming a sextile to Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 8th house. This new moon, Scorpios, talks about new beginnings, new initiations, new plans associated with your career, with your public reputation, with how other people see you, and also your status. There is some new beginning happening here. Before I go to explain the sextile to Mars and Jupiter, I do want to mention that we do have Mercury going retrograde right next on the next day, on the August 5th. And Mercury right now is sitting in Virgo, which is in your 11th house. So for a lot of you Scorpios, you may have some friends coming back. You may have some new beginning with a group of friends, with a friend. Maybe you clarify some things with them, you talk to us about some things with them. And then as Mercury moves retrograde and it goes back to Leo in your 10th house, then you're going to revise some things associated with your career and public reputation, and also your public status, your mission in this life. So I do think that there's a new beginning associated with your career. However, there's also revision that needs to be made, which means that yes, you need to make some revisions, and the new beginning can be associated with some type of new direction that you're taking, again, in your career, public reputation, your public status, how other people see you, and the mission that you have in this world. I do love that sextile to Mars and Jupiter. Mars and Jupiter in the 8th house are making you very driven to change the way and transform the way how you talk to yourself, face fears and self-sabotaging patterns, improve them, make them better. Mars and Jupiter are making you very driven and inspired to expand in your shared resources and finances, to even make more money when it comes to investments, the stock market, and things like that. If you happen to be in the industry of managing other people's money, such as a financial analyst, wealth management, insurances, taxes, things like that, then you might have some support that you are receiving in your industry that is helping you have some type of initiation in your career and public reputation. So there is some transformation going on here in your life, and a lot of you Scorpios are using that transformation to have some type of new beginning associated with your career, public reputation, and your status. Mars is your ruler and also the ruler of your sixth house, and the sixth house is the house of day-to-day job. So again, there is some change, some new beginning associated with your job, different projects, new projects that you may be taking on, new responsibilities. You may even have a new boss coming in at work, and Jupiter, that is also sextiling this new moon, is the ruler of your second and fifth house, which are both financial houses. So again, there is some new beginning associated with your finances, whether they are personal or shared resources that you may have. On this same day, this new moon is also creating positive aspects to the nodes, and the ruler of the north node, Mars, is also making a positive aspect that I just talked about with the new moon. So I really love this new moon. It's definitely fated. There are certain things that we have to embrace and start, but we also have to recalculate other things and revise them and fix them with this new moon. And as I mentioned, there could be some kind of revision that needs to be made, maybe with a friend at first, with Mercury going retrograde, with your long-term dreams and goals that you have for the future. For a lot of you Scorpios, you may need to revise something important in your life. You may need to think about things when it comes to where you want to be in the future, what dreams you have, what goals you have. Do you see yourself being there? And so Mercury retrograde is helping you revise those details, and then it's going back to your 10th house of your career, and it's telling you, well, you need to fix this and this, or take another direction to be able to have some important beginning when it comes to your career and public reputation. And the new moon does not happen exactly on that day. Like the energy, it lasts for 2 weeks, it lasts for a whole month. So keep that in mind, that you have activation happening in your 10th house, and for a lot of you may also feel these changes in your 4th house, in your 1st house, and the 7th, because this is an angular house. So you may feel some impact of this 10th house matters also in your family dynamics, in your real estate, in your relationships with your family members, but also in your personal life, like in your identity and who you are as a person, and also your partnerships, your contracts and marriages. But I generally think that this new moon is more on the positive side, and it could bring some important beginnings for a lot of you Scorpios. Please let me know in the comments how things are going for you, and if you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello, dear Sagittarius suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. Sagittarius, is on August 4th, we have a new moon in the sign of Leo at 12 degrees in your 9th house. And I really like this new moon because it's creating positive sextiles to Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 7th house, and also it's creating positive aspects to the nodes, which are sitting in the signs of Aries and Libra. And for you, those are in the 5th and 11th houses. So this new moon, Sagittarius, is marking some new beginning when it comes to your belief system, the way how you view the world, the way how you see the world, also in legal matters. Maybe some of your Sagittarius are taking on a different approach when it comes to your legal matters again. For others of you, if you want to take on a trip abroad, then this new beginning can give you the opportunity to do so. However, I do advise you to please revise and take a look at your tickets, at your visas, plane schedules, things like that, because on the very next day we have Mercury moving retrograde in the sign of Virgo, but it's also moving into Leo, and it's touching, it's going, to be in the same house where this new moon is happening. So please make sure you check all these things when it comes to your long distance travels and visiting other lands, other countries. Now for others of you Sagittarius, this new beginning can be associated with need and desire to learn a new language, to take on a different approach when it comes to learning a foreign language. And then the 9th house is also the house of gurus, mentors. So for some of you, you may meet somebody that really advises you on certain things and teaches you about different belief systems, teaches you about your life, the direction you need to take. But as I mentioned, we have Mercury moving retrograde in the sign of Virgo in your 10th house. And so there is some kind of revision that needs to be made in your career, public reputation, your status, your mission in this world, the impact, the footprints that you want to leave in this world, in your life. And so there's something that needs to be revised with Mercury moving retrograde here. And as it moves further into the sign of Leo in your 9th house, there is some revision that needs to be made when it comes to all your 9th house matters that I just mentioned. The sextile this new moon is receiving from Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 7th house talks about the support that you may be receiving from a partner who could support you from behind the scenes. This could be somebody that helps you, that is a foreigner, that is from foreign lands. That is because Mars rules your 12th house. So it could be that somebody far away, from foreign lands, gets in a contract with you, and there's some new beginning initiated, maybe in your legal matters, maybe in your belief systems, that has some kind of support from this individual. There could also be support from a partner, but for others of you, you may also be using your creative and artistic abilities to have this new beginning into your life. And that is because Mars rules your 5th house. And Mars is supporting this new moon from your 7th house, where it's sitting from. So I do think, there are some good opportunities to have some type of important new beginnings in your 9th house matters. You're having very good support from others. And Jupiter is your ruler. So I feel like for a lot of you Sagittarius, you are the inspiration. You are the motivated person to make all these necessary changes into your life, into your belief system, and all the things that I just talked about. Jupiter also rules your 4th house, so for some of you Sagittarius, the support could be from a family member, or you could just feel comfortable in your emotional world when it comes to initiating these new beginnings into your life. The other important thing about this new moon is that it is also making positive aspects to the nodes. So I definitely think that there could be some new beginnings that are fated, that are karmic in nature, but that are more on the positive side. And that is because the ruler of the North Node that is in Aries is Mars, and Mars is in a positive aspect to this new moon. So definitely a lot of support there, a lot of determination and passion to start something new and initiate something beautiful that might need some revision. It might need some communication with old bosses, maybe with old people that or people that you've had in your life for a while, but that had a big impact on you, that were kind of an inspiration into your life, with Mercury moving retrograde in your 10th house and then in your 9th house. There is a tense aspect on this day with Mars in Gemini in your 7th house, in a tense square to Mercury in Virgo in your 10th house. And Mercury is in its own sign here, in the sign of Virgo. It rules your 10th house. It also rules your 7th house. So there is some tension here between your partnerships and your career direction, where you need to go, what direction you need to embark on. And there is some tense communication maybe with a partner that could happen again behind the scenes, with Mars being the ruler of your 12th house. But the tension is there necessary, and I feel like with Mercury going retrograde and being part of this tension, talks about a need to rethink certain things, to be able to realign your life with the life of your partner maybe, or to enter some type of contract, some type of agreement that benefits you in your career and your public reputation. And again, Mercury going retrograde in your 10th house is having you review certain things, and make you rethink some important details that could really benefit you in the long run. And I also do want to mention that the energy of the new moon might not be felt only on August 4th. It could last for 2 weeks, it could last for a month, it could last for up to 6 months. So keep that in mind. But it's definitely there. And I do think that this new moon again is more on the positive side. We have the ruler of the North Node creating a positive aspect to it. So definitely some good manifestation could happen here. So I really hope it turns out very good and very beautiful for you, Sagittarius. Please let me know in the comments how things are going for you, and if you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello, dear Capricorns, Capricorn suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. Capricorns, on August 4th, we have a new moon in the sign of Leo at 12 degrees in your 8th house, and is creating a positive aspect to Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 6th house. I think that there will be some important new beginnings when it comes to the way how you talk to yourself, when it comes to the way how you deal with your fears, your self-sabotaging patterns, your traumas from the past, your deep-rooted pain that you may have within yourself. For a lot of you Capricorns, you are reviewing some things that could have happened in your life that might have had a big impact. And with this new beginning, you are deciding to take on a different route when it comes to the way how you deal with them and how you confront them. The 8th house is also the house of shared resources and finances. So for a lot of you Capricorns, again, you may have some type of initiation, some type of new beginning when it comes to your shared resources with a partner or with your family members during this new moon. If you are in the wealth management industry, if you are maybe a financial advisor or a tax person doing insurances, dealing with other people's money, then there could be something new that could be happening in your career, and in the way how you deal with your clients and in your industry in general. Obviously that depends on your personal chart also, but could definitely be the case for some of you Capricorns. The thing that I want to mention about this new moon is that the Mercury is moving retrograde in a Virgo in your 9th house at the time of the new moon, and it's making you reassess and rethink about your belief systems, also legal matters, things that are associated with foreign travels, foreign lands, foreign languages, but also with documentation when it comes to traveling abroad, and also your teachers, mentors, and gurus. So there's some revision happening there. There could be somebody that was your mentor that comes back into your life during this Mercury retrograde. And then as Mercury continues to move retrograde, is going to move into the house of Leo in your 8th house, where this new moon is happening. So there is some revision that needs to be made about this new beginning. There can be some initiation, but there's also revision and recalculation of certain things associated with your 8th house matters. And again, this could be about your deep-rooted fears. It could be about shared resources. It could be about your industries, if you are in dealing with other people's money industries. So there's definitely some new beginning associated with this. But what I love about this new moon is that it's being sextiled from Mars and Jupiter and Gemini in your 6th house. So there could be some drive and determination to be a go-getter when it comes to your job, to your projects at work, to be able to maybe increase your shared resources and shared finances, to have some kind of beginning when it comes to increasing your shared income, that you have with your partner or your family members. And it could be that the family member is actually helping you and giving you support, and that's because Mars rules your 4th house. So a family member could be definitely helping you on a daily basis, maybe helping you complete tasks, running errands, going to the grocery store, filling up your gas, for the car, doing things like that, that is helping you on a daily basis to be able to have some kind of beginning in your 8th house matters. Mars also rules your 11th house, so it could be that for a lot of you Capricorns, you are wanting to go after some long-term dream and goal that you may have for the future, and you may have that in your mind on your day-to-day life. You may be doing things on a daily basis to be able to achieve this important thing associated with your 8th house matters. There could be definitely communication happening during this time that is very important, that could happen behind the scenes, that helps you have some type of beginning in your 8th house matters. And that is because Jupiter rules your 3rd house of communication and your 12th house of hidden things, and it's supporting this new moon from your 6th house of day-to-day life. So you may receive some kind of communication kind of behind the scenes. You may have some kind of thought process that is happening again behind the scenes. You could even use spirituality to be able to have this new beginning in the way how you deal with fears and traumas and your self-sabotaging patterns, or when it comes to increasing your income through investments, through dealing with other people's money, addressing self-sabotaging patterns so that you can have financial abundance, basically. The other positive thing about this new moon is that it's creating a positive aspect to the nodes that are in Aries and Libra in your 4th and 10th houses. And the ruler of the North Node is Mars, and Mars is supporting this new moon, and I absolutely love this. This talks about fated events, fated situations that are very important for you, for your life, especially with the nodes being in angular houses, the 4th and the 10th. That are very important for you. There's some important deep transformation that needs to happen with this new moon into your life, Capricorns. And again, there can be some recalculation, some rethinking of certain details and things, but there's definitely a new beginning with this new moon. On this same day, though, Mars in Gemini in your 6th house is also creating a 10th square with Mercury in Virgo in your 9th house. So again, there is some activation here of your thought processes on your daily life, on your belief system. There's some change that needs to be made there. And as Mercury moves retrograde in Virgo, it's going to make you rethink about your belief system, about your gurus, your spiritual mentors, people that give you guidance in life. Somebody may come back into your life, and there's some communication that needs to happen there. There's something that needs to happen, especially in your daily routines, even in your health. If you're dealing with some health issues, then there is some belief system that's going to change associated with it, with this 10 square. And Mars rules your 4th and 11th house. So again, there's a reactivation of maybe a family member supporting you, a family member being active into your life at this time when it comes to this new beginning. But it's also something that may be realigning you with your long-term dreams and goals for the future. For some of you Capricorns, that could even be a friend that you have some type of tense communication with, that something needs to be resolved with. It could be something that maybe you think differently and believe differently about, and they think differently. So there could be some tense communication happening there. But generally speaking, I feel like this new moon is more on the positive side. I think it can have some positive impact in your life. Some important transformation, again, is supposed to happen. But as always, Capricorns, please let me know how things are going for you. And if you liked and resonated with this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello, dear Aquarius, Aquarius suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. Aquariuses, on August 4th, we have a new moon in the sign of Leo at 12 degrees happening in your 7th house. And it's receiving positive aspects from Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 5th house. I feel like for a lot of you Aquariuses, this new moon is about love, it's about dating, flings, romance, it could be like literally very cute. But if you're not in that market right now of finding somebody or connecting with somebody, then this new moon can talk about entering collaborations, having a new beginning, even in a current collaboration, agreement, contract that you have with somebody. The 7th house is also the house of open enemies. So for some of you Aquariuses, you may have some kind of initiation in the way how you deal with these kind of people in your life. I do want to say though that this new moon, maybe a few days after the new moon, there could be old partners coming back into your life, even romantic ones, business ones also. And that is because on the very next day after this new moon, we have Mercury moving retrograde. And at first it's moving retrograde in the sign of Virgo in your 8th house. So for a lot of you Aquariuses, during this new moon, you may need to readdress some self-sabotaging patterns, especially when it comes to the way how you flirt with other people, when it comes to romance, but also in your creative and artistic abilities that you have. During this new moon, you may need to take a different approach on dating somebody and getting a partner, getting into a partnership, trying to heal certain things and transform especially certain things with a partner into your life, and just dealing with traumas and self-sabotaging patterns that you may have from the past. So Mercury in the 8th house is asking you to review those things and recalculate them. But as it moves further, as it continues to go retrograde, it's going to enter the sign of Leo where this new moon is happening in your 7th house. So for a lot of you Aquariuses, an old partner could come back with this new moon. Somebody that you used to be in a partnership with, again, it could be romantic or a business partner, or it could also be some kind of collaboration, contract details that need to be revised, that need to be re-entered and refreshed and changed with this Mercury retrograde. So there is some initiation when it comes to your 7th house matters, but there's also revision that needs to be made with Mercury moving retrograde. As I mentioned, this new moon in the 7th house is receiving positive aspects from Mars and Jupiter in your 5th house of romance, of gambling, of earning money in a quick way or by luck, and also the house of children, of creative and artistic abilities. Anything that we create is the 5th house. So for a lot of you Aquariuses, you may feel very driven to expand in your creative and artistic abilities, and you may put this inspiration that you have within yourself into your partnerships, into connecting with others, into collaborations, agreements that you have on paper, and also, to have some kind of initiation, some kind of beginning when it comes to these things. You may even have to talk with a child to try to fix some kind of misunderstanding that you might have had with them in the past, and again have some kind of new beginning one-on-one with one of your children. It could also be that a child, if you have children, supports you in some kind of partnership that you might have with somebody, maybe in a business, maybe in dealing with clients on one-on-one. There could be one of your children that is helping you with these things. But for a lot of you Aquarius, I feel like you're using your creativity and kind of being more on the playful side when it comes to your partnerships and one-on-one relationships with others. Mars rules your 3rd house and your 10th house. So again, I feel like for a lot of you, you may even have a change of status with this new moon because it's happening at an angular house. It's happening on the 7th house of partnerships, but Mars is the ruler of your 10th, which rules your status and public reputation. And there can definitely be here some type of communication, some type of revision that could be happening with this new moon. Jupiter rules your 11th house, so I feel like you are keeping in the back of your mind some kind of long-term dream and goal that you may have for the future that could be kind of tied with this new beginning when it comes to your partnerships and long-term dreams, goals that you might have for the future for yourself. The other thing that I love about this new moon is that it's creating positive aspects to the nodes, and your nodes are sitting, or the nodes are sitting in Aries and Libra in your 3rd and 9th houses. Now, the ruler of the North Node, which is Mars, is creating a positive aspect to the new moon. It's supporting it. So I think this is wonderful. This talks about fated events, fated situations, people that you are supposed to be meeting during this new moon. And if somebody comes back during this time, it is fated. That person is supposed to come back into your life, to come to closure into with them for something, but also to have some kind of new direction, new beginning with them after things are clarified. And as I've said to the other signs also, the new moon is happening on August 4th, but the effects of this new moon could be felt in 2 weeks, during the entire month, until the lunar cycle, but also up to 6 months. So keep that in mind. Now, going back to the details of, or the configuration of the sky on this day, Mars in Gemini is creating a tense aspect to Mercury in Virgo, and Mars is sitting again in your 5th house, Mercury is sitting in your 8th house. So there is some tension here. There's some inner war that could happen for some of you Aquarius, as to where you need to address some fears, some self-sabotaging patterns in the way how you flirt with people, and the way how you express yourself through creativity and artistic abilities, and in the way how you want to heal from your traumas associated with your children, with your kids. There could be some revision that needs to be made in your finances. Both the 5th and the 8th houses are financial houses. The 8th house is the house of shared resources. So there could be some kind of revision that needs to be made with this tense aspect and this new beginning. And as I said earlier, Mercury is then going to leave your 8th house and go back to your 7th house of partnerships. So there is an activation of kind of similar houses with this new moon. Some important topics are being discussed here and revised, and you may be taking on a different new direction when it comes to your 7th house matters, but not only. And the last thing, I feel like your Aquariuses have been the longest sign. The last thing that I want to say is that this is happening in an angular house in your 7th house, and you can feel new beginnings. This could have new effects in your personality, in your individuality, in your 1st house, but also in your 4th house of family dynamics, real estate, your place of living, your residence, and it can also have an impact on your career, public reputation, as I mentioned earlier, with Mars being the ruler of your 10th house and supporting or heavily supporting this new moon. There could definitely be some type of new beginning in these things, but please let me know in the comments how things are going for you, Aquariuses. And as always, if you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you could do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings, such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website. Hello, dear Pisces, Pisces suns, moons, and risings. Welcome to your new moon in Leo astrology prediction for the 12 zodiac signs. Pisces, on August 4th, we have a new moon in Leo at 12 degrees in your 6th house, and it's creating a positive aspect to Mars and Jupiter in Gemini in your 4th house. So for a lot of you Pisces, there is some new beginning associated with your career. You could definitely get a new job during this time. You could consider taking on a different direction when it comes to your job responsibilities, day-to-day responsibilities, also in your personal life, but also in your career. This new moon can bring a new approach also when it comes to your health, your physical body, how you take care of it, your diet, your workout routine. So there's definitely some new initiation when it comes to these new things. I do love the sextile that this new moon is receiving from Mars and Jupiter in the sign of Gemini in your 4th house. So for a lot of you Pisces, you may have support coming from a family member. You could have some type of expansion happening in your house. You may feel very driven, very passionate, very excited to expand in your home environment, maybe have a new family member join you, maybe expanding your real estate, renovate it, add one more bathroom, maybe buy more property, buy more real estate, or simply expanding your emotional world to understand and feel happier and more excited and optimistic about life in general, because the 4th house is also the house of emotions and our inner world. So with this new moon happening in the 6th house, that could definitely be a family member that is helping you in your daily chores, Pisces, that is supporting you to do your daily routines. For some of you, you could even be happy and excited, just like happy and at peace when it comes to going after your day-to-day tasks, running errands, and things like that. There could be a new beginning again in your job, but there's a family member that supports you in that agrees with you on embarking this new journey. However, I do want to mention here that on the very next day, we have Mercury going retrograde, and it's actually going retrograde in Virgo in your 7th house. So there are some topics that are going to be revised with a partner. There could even be a partner coming back into your life. You could even be reviewing and reconsidering contracts, agreements that could be very much associated with your job even. And that is because Mercury, as it leaves Virgo, it's moving retrograde, is going to enter Leo in your 6th house where this new moon is happening. So there is going to be revision in your job. There's going to be revision of these projects that you may be embarking. There's going to be recalculation of your daily schedule, of your daily errands, of your daily chores. So expect new beginnings in your 6th house matters, but there's also things that need to be revised when it comes to this new beginning. There could definitely be topics related to your second house matters, and that's because Mars, that's supporting this new moon, rules your second house of personal finances. So it could be that you are using your personal resources to have some kind of expansion in your house, or that you're using your personal resources to have this new beginning when it comes to your sixth house matters, taking care of your body, taking care of your health, your day-to-day routines, and also your projects, your day-to-day life stuff. Mars also rules your ninth house, which is the belief system. So there's maybe some transformation going on when it comes to the way how you think about all these sixth house matters. And I'm mentioning Mars so much because this new moon is also creating a positive aspect to the nodes. And the north node is sitting in Aries, and the nodes are sitting in your second and your eighth houses. The ruler of the north node is Mars, and Mars is sextiling, supporting this new moon. So it is very important for this new moon. And again, Mars rules your second and your ninth house, so topics related to your personal finances, your self-worth, your belief system could definitely be used to support you in this new beginning when it comes to your sixth house matters. It could be that some of you may start a new job because it pays you more, that it could bring you more income, it makes you feel more self-confident, more appreciated, more valued. Or it could be that it supports your belief system and you feel very comfortable expressing yourself. You may have just a lot of knowledge in this industry that you may be going in with this new moon. There's also, for some of you Pisces, again, initiation in your health, in your diet. But I also want to mention that Jupiter is your ruler and it's supporting this new moon. So you could very much feel very inspired to do this new beginning. You could be the person that is the initiator of these things. And as I mentioned earlier, Mars is supporting this new moon from your fourth house. So there could definitely be a family member telling you, hey, let's do this. This family member can be supporting you, can feel very driven, excited, determined to push you forward with this new beginning. Again, there could be recalculations happening, as I mentioned earlier, so keep that in mind. But I feel like this new moon is more on the positive side of things. Now, on this day, we also have a tense aspect between Mars in Gemini in your fourth house and Mercury in Virgo in your seventh house. So tense communication, maybe with a family member, with a partner, in your home dynamics. There's some new beginning that could be happening, and there's something that needs to be revised. There's some details that need to be talked, maybe a few disagreements here and there. But again, Mercury is going to move retrograde in your seventh house, and it's going to move into your sixth house. So revision with a partner, going back with them on certain details, or just simply, if you don't have a partner, just simply going back into old contracts or old agreements that were spoken, that were written when it comes to maybe a job, maybe some health related issues, maybe workout routines, and your just day-to-day tasks. So again, Mars rules your second and ninth house. We have huge activation of these houses for you. And Mercury rules your fourth and seventh house. Again, huge activation of your family members and partnerships. I hope I didn't repeat myself too much, but just keep this in mind, that this new moon is more on the positive side. It has beautiful aspects from Mars, from Jupiter. Jupiter is like the great benefic. It's supporting this new beginning for you. With Mercury going retrograde, yes, there are some things to be reviewed, but there's definitely a possibility to have some good beginning, healthy beginning when it comes to all of your sixth house matters. This is what I have for you, Pisces. Please let me know in the comments how things are going for you, and if you liked and resonated with this video, please remember to give it a like and to subscribe. If you'd like to book a reading with me, you can do so through my website, takingyoutothestars.com. It will be under the services tab, and at the moment I'm offering multiple readings such as personal birth chart reading, 1-year transit, positivity chart reading, which basically focuses on the positive sides of your chart, vocation, money reading, love reading, and astrocartography. However, if you really want me to do another reading or a simple, different consultation with me, you can just send me an email at takingyoutothestars@gmail.com. That's also listed on my website.